such obsession.
Yes.
That was not my intention.
All right, let's go. Guys, wow. I'm blown away by your incredible response to that video. Thank you so much. We are so grateful.
You all were just so thoughtful.
So kind.
The comments, encouraging, T to play. And, some of you all posted some other stuff that was just particularly, tugging at my heartstrings a little bit because obviously having, played and knowing the story.
So we're sitting here kind of overwhelmed with the response of our last video. And so we wanted to talk about that for a little bit.
When I was talking to T about wanting to record a response to your response to T's response to the A Realm Reborn cinematic, I was just like, hey man, let's just sit down. Let's not talk about it too much ahead of time and really just get our thoughts out there. And for me, some of you all mentioned in the comments, that you're, sure that I'm familiar with this or that. And yes, I'm very, very familiar with the incredible support and generosity that exists in the Final Fantasy community, specifically the Final Fantasy XIV community, especially when it comes to new players. That is culturally how it is in game. Truly incredible response.
Jay told me before we did the video, he told me that
I warned him.
Loves this content. I thought,
him.
yeah, sure, okay. There's probably going to be 100 people who might actually watch our video about this thing.
For sure.
And that's not what happened. You guys were overwhelmingly gracious with your time and with your comments. There were some great comments in there, and I think we'll talk through that maybe in a little bit. But
absolutely,
the FF14 community just seems like a wonderful place to be, and definitely want to be a part of that and trying to figure out what the best way is to do that.
We're humbled by you, giving us your time that you've given us already.
We spent the next 12 and a half minutes thanking you all for watching and being so supportive. Thank you again.
I'm just going to give a quick, I guess, my resume, if you will. So certainly I played through all of Final Fantasy XIV. I started playing initially just shortly before Heaven's Word came out. I played through pretty much all of the MSQ up to that point.
I don't know what that means.
I said that before, and he was like, what's MSQ mean? Main story quest. I came back to the game about 2 months-ish before Endwalker came out, and have engaged with every job in the game at some point, some way more than others. Certainly, we all have our preferences because there's only 21 of them. I've done tons of endgame raiding, cleared every tier since the first one in Endwalker, done a lot of teaching groups with a community that I've become a part of, which has been such a great time. Okay.
So Jay gave his FF experience. Let me give you my resume. I've played FF6 up until the Opera House. There was a chocobo in it, so that was really fun to connect that with the cinematic, and I've seen FF14 cinematic.
And something that all Final Fantasy folks enjoy doing as much as we love, the games, especially those of us that have experienced all of them, is we love to politely argue over which of them is the best or what our favorite is.
Knowing you, I don't think you have an opinion.
Are you kidding me?
What? You have to have an opinion on this.
That's true, yes.
I have to have an opinion on this. If I had to, I know you all are wondering if I had, top three. Okay, top three in an honorable mention.
That's good.
Number 1, 14, because it's that good.
It's a good number.
Plus it's like an amusement park. It pays homage to all the others at some point. And second for me would be 6. And third is 8.
Oh, okay.
And I am an uncommon FF8 enjoyer. Honorable mention goes to Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, what?
A what?
Which
wait. There's no number. I don't get it.
Final Fantasy Tactics was released on the PlayStation Entertainment System.
Ooh.
Story and tactics is awesome, but the gameplay of Tactics is something I'll probably just have to show you, because it more resembles it's like a combination of chess, checkers, battleship, and kind of in that vein. This might seem a little random, but as with all new folks that get into this sort of thing, we deal with our fair share of issues, mainly audio. And I know that when it comes to certain things, if you maybe give them some TLC, it can help with that. And I was thinking,
bro, what are you talking about, man?
Our microphones are pretty important, and we should probably give them names.
I was wondering where you're going with this.
I know, yeah. So he had no idea that I was going to suggest this, and so I have 2 names picked out, and if you'll indulge me,
absolutely,
I think we should name them Biggs and Wedge.
Okay. Is that a non-spoiler
those
spoiler?
are totally random names that I just pulled out of
Oh
thin
yeah,
air.
sure.
But
Okay.
your fascination with Sid,
Yeah.
it got me thinking. I'm like, how should we have fun with that?
Okay.
But no, in all seriousness, for now on our microphones, we're not going to necessarily be talking to them like they're characters, but for now on, they're Biggs and Wedge. We're gonna, treat them, a little bit nicer than we do, which we do treat them very nicely.
For sure.
But hopefully we'll have less, audio issues than we have had up to this point. So yeah, you can decide which is which.
I was going to ask you, which one do I get? I like Wedge.
You like Wedge?
Wedge.
Okay.
Wedgie. Something that I
fits.
had a lot when I was a
That
kid.
actually fits,
Yeah.
which is really funny.
Yeah.
So I got Biggs.
Perfect.
And very cool. We'll remember that.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get them like little name badges.
So I think we're going to have a new segment on this channel, and this is going to be called Sprout's Corner. Do you have to are the games designed to play 1 through 21? Like, do you have to do that
Great
to
question.
understand what's going on?
So I can tell I'm already confusing you. There's 21 jobs in FF14.
Sorry.
Jobs that you can play,
Okay.
like warrior, paladin,
Okay.
black mage, white mage, But as far as the Final Fantasy series goes, there's 16 mainline games. No, you do not need to play any of them in order to play any of the other ones.
Okay.
But they do have recurring themes. There's recurring names. There's recurring beings. There's, recurring all kinds of stuff, that are like pretty common to a Final Fantasy universe. However, one of the hallmarks of the series is that every game that came out, they were trying something new.
Cool. No, still chocobos.
Still
That's the
chocobos.
one thing that stuck.
Okay.
All right.
Those have not changed
Good.
in terms of
Good.
like what they are.
This is good.
As
Never
far as I
changed
can
chocobos.
remember. Yeah, there's no. I don't think the Chocobo's the final bad guy boss of any game. Not to spoil it for you.
FF17. Rise of the Chocobo. So looking through the comments, is Algorithm a character in the game? Because I kept seeing that over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Is he like a chocobo?
It's an ultimate fight, and
Algorithm.
occasionally when you go in there, it's like it just falls over, and other times you completely don't understand any of the mechanics whatsoever.
Well done. So, all right. So, Jay, I want to go back to one thing real quick. So, we talked about your favorite 1142638, which might be the password to our account. That's your top 3 games. Give me your top 3 jobs in 14.
Ooh. Oh man. For the sake of this not taking forever,
An eternity later.
I would say if I had to associate a job like with my Warrior of Light more than any other, it would be Paladin.
Ooh.
However, that's the beautiful thing about this game is there's so many jobs. So many of them are so fun.
Everybody learns the hero's journey isn't always a happy one.
They're all fun.
74, is that what you said?
Everyone is a lover of every job in some way.
What is the one job that people are like, only dirtbags choose this job? And I want to hear the comments. Well, let me say this. Let me be fair. Is there a job where people are like, this thing again?
I want to try to say this in the most
tread carefully,
I want to
my
say this in
friend.
the most loving way.
Okay.
And not just this is not me throwing shade, and it's funny and it's said out of love. If you had a black mage in your party, stay out of their way, don't make them move,
Okay.
just let them do their thing, adjust to them, healers adjust.
Wow. Okay.
For their supposed lack of mobility.
Oh, gotcha.
And
Okay.
if they were to put down their ley lines, you'd be like, don't make them move.
It's like a sleeping baby.
Yeah, don't touch it. Yeah, exactly. It's like, just let them do their thing. Without going into too much detail, they're what we call like a selfish DPS,
Okay.
which is there's a number of jobs where they don't have like a party buff. Did any of the comments really jump out at you?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Do you have them all memorized?
I've memorized every single one of them. Live, die, and know. Is this something that I will stumble upon?
Yes.
Okay.
If you rewatch the video, if you listen to the song, in fact, you could totally do that. Just listen to the song by itself. Those are quite literally the last 3 words of the song.
Okay.
there's a lot of recurring themes. Those 3 words are obviously associated with this song, but context is king.
Oh yeah.
And don't want to say too much, although I have propensity to do that.
Never.
My goal with none of this is to put anything on such a high pedestal that it's like really, really, really appreciate this part.
Right, yeah. Really look at this. I'm watching Jay.
Yeah.
What else am I supposed to do?
Because everyone will take away, especially like the first time going through something.
So what I saw was a giant dragon burning down the world. What you saw was something much different. Mm-hmm. Tell me.
I won't say that what we saw was much different.
Okay.
In the sense that it's not like The Matrix. It's all a dream,
Right.
Or in that sense. But to give a little bit more context, quite literally what occurred between 1.0 and 2.0 is they gave them a date and time that the servers for 1.0 were going down.
Oh, that's cool.
People were in-game waiting, and the song faded out quiet version of Answers began playing.
Oh.
And every year on Final Fantasy XIV's anniversary,
Okay.
they play that same, I
That's
wouldn't say haunting,
wild.
but it is incredible. And I can show that to you sometime.
That's neat.
They literally had like a countdown. And when the servers went offline, the cinematic played. And
oh, that's cool.
and everyone who had a 1.0 account, like basically active at the time, because the servers didn't just like come up right away. They were down for some period.
Okay.
I think it was like a couple months.
Oh, okay.
But they all get a legacy tattoo.
Oh, cool.
That is an optional cosmetic for your character.
That's neat.
That only those with legacy 1.0 accounts have.
That's
And,
actually what this is. So
yeah,
I hate to tell. This is.
Yeah.
I know this whole story actually. I'm
yeah.
not a noob.
All jokes aside, once again, thank you so much. There's really nothing more to really say other than we'll strive to continue putting out some great stuff. The next time you see us, I'm gonna actually have T watch the intro cinematic to Final Fantasy VIII.
Ow. Wow.
Which will be a slightly different experience.
Okay.
Not for any reason other than just it's very wild to think that came out over 25 years ago.
Oh my gosh. We won't say how old we are, but
yeah,
I was a sprout back then.
Yeah, we were very sprouty, and we'll check that out. But thank you all again so much. This has been fun. Last thing I'd like to say is certainly some of you all mentioned it. Obviously, there's only but so many ways to skin a cat, and we're actively thinking about how we would like to go about making a playthrough.
Thank you, everyone. Just incredibly overwhelmed by your kindness. Thanks for watching. We're looking forward to putting out more Final Fantasy content. Can't wait to become not a sprout, which is not a bad word. I've come to find out. So, yeah. Thanks again, everyone. Until next time.
Until next time. It's gonna mean nothing to you.